Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of my podcast. Today's episode is going to be on opportunity, and as usual, I'm going to start this podcast off with a quote. Success is where preparation meets opportunity. And that's a quote by Bobby Unser. I know that you've probably heard that quote before. A lot of motivational speakers use that quote. Success is where preparation meets opportunity. That's the formula for success: preparation and opportunity. But what does that mean, and what can we control, and how should we carry ourselves, in our day to day lives to make sure that we can always be ready for opportunity when it knocks or when it comes around. Um, well, the best way to be ready for opportunity when it comes around, or even when it's not comes around, just so you could be in a position to take advantage of that opportunity, is to stay ready. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. Meaning having all your affairs in order, having the mindset, the knowledge, the information, and the things that we're going to talk about throughout this podcast. And then at the end, as usual, I have steps that you can kind of put yourself in the mind frame to and practice. But mainly if the main takeaway I want you to get from this podcast or from this episode is, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. Meaning that if you're in a place to take advantage of an opportunity, you don't then have to get ready to take advantage of that opportunity. You already have all the tools, you've already prepared, so it shouldn't be anything difficult or monumental when the sorry, I got to set my phone up. There we go. It shouldn't be anything difficult or monumental when the opportunity comes. If like when we were in high school, if you played sports, or if weren't that physical of a person and you were more scholastic in your endeavors in high school, if you waited for, a day or so out to study for a test, you may be ready for it, you may pass it. I mean, there's a chance that you can do that. Some people are very good at doing that type of, studying and waiting to the last minute and then taking that information and then regurgitating it into a test and passing it. But you're not really learning. Um, and at the same time, there's a lot of us that aren't very good at that. We need to take our time, maybe a week out. We need to be studying slowly, and I think that's the better way. And a lot of other people would agree, because you're actually learning at that point in time. You're not just um picking up enough of the information so that you could just regurgitate it onto some type of test, and then the next day you forget it because you've passed the test or whatever. Um, so when it comes time for you to take this test, or with the worst example, if you just wait until a day before your football game to start training your body or learning plays and stuff like that, like, you're not gonna be prepared. When the opportunity comes for you to, run that route, or I don't know. When you see a play and you haven't studied for it, so you can't recognize it, when that opportunity makes itself available, you're not going to be ready to carpe diem, to seize the day, because you haven't put yourself in the mindset to be prepared and to be ready. And for lack of effort, we're going to miss a lot of the opportunity that life presents, and we're not always going to have these opportunities available to ourselves. Some opportunities only come once in a lifetime. There's a lot of opportunities that we may get again, but some opportunities are once in a lifetime. So we need to be in a place where we're prepared to take advantage of these opportunities when they are made available to us. If success is a combination of preparation meeting opportunities, then our smartest move would be to stay prepared. Again, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. If you're in the mindset to do what you need to do what you have to do, even if you don't want to do it, then when those opportunities come available, you don't have to psych yourself up or get in the mood or get in the mindset or motivate yourself or find motivation. You're already there. You're already in the mindset. You already got your spirit ready, and you already got your body ready. So, I mean, what's there to wait on? We need to keep ourselves. I know that I've talked about the three planes that we operate on: the spiritual, the physical, and the mental. Um, so, in the same aspect, when we're looking to take advantage of opportunities, we need to keep ourselves spiritually, mentally, and physically ready. And what that looks like is like what we've just been talking about. I'll just go a little bit more in depth in it. Mentally, you need to be in the right mind space. You need to be focused. You need to know what your why is. You need to have that drive deep down within you. Because, like we've talked about in other podcasts, motivation is fleeting. Motivation comes, motivation goes, but drive stays. Drive is your reason why. Drive is what's gonna get you through those ebbs and flows in life, through those valleys and those dark times where you need to be the light for yourself. Um, Spiritually, you need to know that what you're doing is for a purpose bigger than yourself. And you need to be okay with doing what you're gonna do. Know that it's part of your life's purpose, and that it's part of a greater design. It's not just selfish intent. Some of us do stuff for selfish reasons, and I mean, at the end of the day, you're probably not gonna be fulfilled. But like, we need to know that we're a part of something bigger than ourselves. Usually, when people are a part of bigger things that are bigger than themselves, they derive more self pleasure, self esteem. They look at themselves better. People look at them better and stuff like that. Even though we don't care what people think, but people largely achieve, you know, self efficacy, or self esteem, or pride. There's the word pride. People receive pride from things that are, when they accomplish things that are bigger than themselves, or they're a part of things that are bigger than themselves. So we did mentally, we did spiritually, and physically. Your health needs to be, I would say, your number one priority, but it's a component of everything. Just like we have talked about how life is a puzzle, or putting your life together is a puzzle, your health is another piece of that intricate puzzle. Um, if you're not healthy, you're not going to be able to do anything. If you can't do day-to-day tasks, or depending on the dream or the goal that you want, do above and beyond what the average human being can do, or the average person, then you're not going to be able to take advantage of opportunities. um like, for those of you who want to go into the military, or NFL, NBA, I don't know, even construction. I'm not going to sleep on construction. Construction is hard work. But if you don't keep yourself in some type of shape, it's not only the fact that you won't be able to lift, run, or do any of those activities. You're just shortening your lifespan. Like, your body's ability to bounce back from certain things, your body's ability to handle, you know, pain, or to get through certain things. And that's all dependent upon your health. I'm not saying like we're superhuman or whatever like that, but if your body is in its best physical condition, or closer to being its best physical condition, when you go through the ebbs and flows of life, physically, because every day is not going to be a good day, but when those bad days come along, your body will be more ready to handle those things, and more flexible and pliable, able to bounce back, because the body is very resilient. We just have to put it into place to where it can be resilient. So that's how we can be ready mentally, spiritually, and physically to take advantage of opportunities. We just have to be in the right space on all of those planes in order to be able to be our best whenever that opportunity presents itself. In this equation for success, preparation is the only component that we control 100%. So we can't control when we get opportunities, when opportunities, present themselves, when opportunities become available, what type of opportunity, the duration of the opportunity. We can't control that type of stuff. That's largely up to life. I mean, we have some control over it, but it's largely based on life and the circumstances surrounding. However, preparation is something that we have 100% control of. We can control if we're prepared. We can be controlled. We can control if we're ready, if we're in the right place at the right time. We can control if we're in the right mental space, the right emotional space, the right physical demeanor. We can control all of that stuff. Preparation is the only part of that equation that we control 100%. So if an opportunity comes available and we aren't prepared to take full advantage of the opportunity, it's on us. It's not on anybody else, it's on us. So we need to, again, we need to be prepared. We need to be prepared. Preparation is the only thing that we can control 100%. So we need to be prepared. There's no excuse for not being prepared. It's on you. Ultimately, it's on you because you have control of it. And if you're not ready, there's no excuse that you can make. You just aren't ready. Like, just own up to it. Have ownership. I wasn't prepared. I didn't prepare myself. I missed this opportunity because I wasn't in the right place at the right time, doing the right things. It's on us. Ownership, and then move on. So then there's opportunity, which we can somewhat control. We can control opportunities by by preparation. Being in the right place at the right time might afford us certain opportunities that other people won't have the same access to, or meeting people who might later on down the road give us access to other opportunities and stuff like that. But we can't control that 100%. You know, I would say maybe 50% at its highest. We can control, the opportunities that we have in life by like picking the type of school we go to, picking the type of college we go to, stuff, the courses we take in college, the people we meet and interact with on a daily basis, the extracurricular activities we do, stuff like that, that can kind of dictate the opportunities that we have later on down the road. But we can't control this 100%. This factor is, you know, variable. It's a variable. It can't be. It's not something that we control 100%. When the opportunity presents itself, take the leap. And when one door closes, then kick open another one. When the opportunity is ready, we can't be scared to take the leap. We can't be scared of the opportunity because we're in our comfort zone, or we may feel that we're not ready. Somebody else may feel that we are ready.
Your task
Somebody
are
else,
repeat affirmations read.
reminder. Somebody else might feel that, we embody the person that would be exactly right for this position or exactly right for this task or this job. So they look at us and ask us to take advantage of this opportunity. And it's not for us to sell ourselves short. If somebody else sees something in us, then why not take advantage of the opportunity? Why not take that leap? And if it comes around faster than you're ready for, still take it and then make mistakes through the way, learn from those mistakes, and then become better. But don't be scared to take opportunities because you feel that you're not ready, or you're not confident in yourself. We're never going to be ready. We're never going to be perfect. We're never going to be in that ideal time and place where we can just take advantage of every opportunity and everything that comes our way. And, life is going to be great. Something's always going to be going on. You may be one of those individuals that, everything just lines up and is perfect, and, kudos to you. But in my life, it hasn't been that way. Every time opportunity, I wouldn't say every time because that's not a fair statement. But, there's been some instances in life when opportunities have presented themselves and I haven't necessarily been in the right position to take advantage of those opportunities because of my lack of preparation. Or it might have been a confidence thing. Like I was like, hey, I don't feel confident to be in this space or in this place right now. So I may or may not have taken advantage of the opportunity. And where we are in life, is dictated largely by the opportunities that we take advantage of. You can't get nowhere acting scared. Eventually we're gonna have to jump. We're gonna have to take that leap if we want to get to where we want to go in life. And if one door is closed, that's not the end all be all. Just kick another door open. Like when I was in the Marine Corps, we had a primary breach and then a secondary breach. Like if the breach failed, like we were trying to get into this door, and we put an explosive on the door, or we mechanically breached it, which is like using tools. Um, if that breach failed, we had a secondary breach that we can go to, and then we could try and do the same thing. And two breaches, I mean, the chance of two breaches failing is very, very slim. It could happen, but it's very, very slim. So if life gives you a primary breach that doesn't open, have a secondary, or have a secondary plan. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't just count on this plan working 100% and everything's gonna be fine and life's gonna be perfect. Even if you believe you're like, oh, I'm a good person, bad's not gonna happen to me, or oh, I do all the right things, it's not gonna happen to me and stuff. Ebbs and flows. Everybody is exposed to the ebbs and flows of life. So even if you are a good person, even if you do everything right, even when nobody's looking and stuff like that, you're still gonna face hard times. The primary breach is still gonna fail, and you're gonna have to move around to that secondary breach, or you're just gonna maybe a tertiary, like a third breach site that you can go to. Like, there shouldn't be a end to the number of plans you have. You should just be willing to get up and go after it and go get it every single day. Like, it shouldn't matter, what plan you're on. It's another plan. It's another opportunity to be successful and to achieve the goal that you want to achieve. Don't be afraid to take the door. You will be judged on how you take the door, and you never know who's watching. Who I got this from was David Goggins, and he was talking about how when you're like clearing a house, and there's a door closed, there's a way that you have to go into that room. And if you're the point guy, you're the first one in the room. The point guy is the first person in front of the stack. And you can look on YouTube if you really care about, room clearing and stuff like that. So it can paint a better picture of what I'm talking about. But when you clear a house or a structure or something like that, you move in a stack, which is a line of people. And as you reach rooms and doors or hallways that you need to clear, there's a specific way that you do it. Usually, the point guy is the first guy in the room. So when the point guy goes into the room, he's exposed to whatever is in that room first. And then the second guy reacts off of him. But the point guy has a very important position, because as you breach that door or go in through that door, you can't halt in the doorway or in the door frame, because if you stop in the door frame or the hallway, you're going to jam everybody up behind you. Or if you encounter something in the room that you're going to need assistance with dealing with, if you stop in the doorway or like partially in the room, you take out everybody else that's here to help you. They're not going to be able to help you because they can't get in the room. So what David Goggins is talking about is like, don't be afraid to take the door. When that door swings open, you need to charge into that room ready for whatever's in there. Ready for, whatever, whether it's danger or if it's nothing, or, if it's another room or whatever lies beyond that door, you just need to be ready to take it, ready to take the opportunity when it presents itself, because you never know who's watching. You never know who's watching. If it's in the business world, athletics, day to day life, you never know who's watching. And when the opportunity presents itself, and somebody is watching you and you're scared to take opportunities that may not look favorably upon you. Not saying that we care what people think, but we're trying to give a good impression of ourselves. We're trying to show people that we're confident in our abilities and ready and willing to take new opportunities, even if we may not be ready for them. So don't be afraid to take that door. And if your primary breach site is closed, don't be afraid to make another. Keep it rolling, keep it rolling, keep it rolling. You got to just keep moving towards your success. The greatest illusion that we have as human beings is that we have time, is that we have tomorrow. Tomorrow isn't promised. Tomorrow isn't promised. We could be here today and gone tomorrow. So we need to take advantage of every opportunity that we have available to us to get as close to accomplishing our goal or accomplishing our goal in the time that we are given. An opportunity deferred is not a dream denied. No does not mean never. It simply means not now under these circumstances. No is just not right now. When you hear no, we should just associate that with not right now. And then we say, Roger that, move on to something else. A lot of people hear no and they're like, oh, let me change my goal. Let me change my dream. It's not a dream denied. There's a million different ways to get to where you want to go. There's not one specific way. And if you want the dream bad enough, if you're driven for it, and if this is what you set your mind and your heart out to do and your spirit out to do, then no should never mean never. You know what I mean? Just take a different way. Just like we were talking with the breach sites. Just because you failed that breach doesn't mean there's not a breach around the corner or on a different side of the house that you can't successfully get into. And then that changes like how you might have to navigate through the house or through the structure. Just like in life, it might change how you might have to roundabout get your plan, get to your goal, but it is what it is. A perfect example I had of this is when I first graduated high school. I went to a prestigious college, a very prestigious college, and it was a private school, and it was very expensive, and it got to the point where I wasn't able to afford it. You know, but I had a dream of achieving a college education, get my college degree. So instead of taking the straight route, which is, go through, high school, graduate high school, go through college, graduate college, go into my career, and to go like that, I had to kind of take the long route. So I went to college. That didn't work out for financial reasons. So I had to go to community college, start all over again with zero credits. I graduated from community college in 3 years. Then I moved down to North Carolina to go to a brick and mortar school. And then my financial paper or financial information got messed up some way, somehow. So then I couldn't attend that school. So then I just figured, instead of wasting time until it got straightened out, that I would go online and get my degree that way. And that's what I did. So I took the roundabout way of getting my college degree, but at the end of the day, I got my college degree. And that's all that matters. It's not how you get there, it's just the fact that you got there. Fall 7 times and get up 8. Don't let lack of effort be the reason why you didn't achieve your goal. At the end of the day, it rests on your shoulders. If you did or did not, it's up to you. There's only two realities in this world. There's reasons or excuses. You either do it or you don't. There is no try. So if you have a goal that's in your life that you want to do, you need to have complete control of the pen to your own story. Yes, there are going to be things that happen in your life that are largely out of control. Yes, there are going to be things that suck, that are unfair, and aren't happening to other people. But regardless of what's going on around you, you need to worry about the things that you can control, not the things that are out of your control. That's where we get sidetracked. That's where we get lost when we're worried about the things that are out of our control. We need to worry about the things we can control, which is being prepared. And don't be sidetracked by others. Their story is not yours. You don't know what chapter they're in. You don't know what they've been through. You don't know how they're getting to where they're going. You don't even know if they're ready for what they're getting into or what will happen to them in the next chapter. Don't compare your chapter 1 to somebody else's chapter 5. Like, you're just cheating yourself out of the experience. Life is a journey, not a destination. So just enjoy the journey. Don't worry about somebody else. That's how you water down your experience. That's how you water down your journey, by worrying about somebody else and what they got going on. And as usual, when I give these little podcasts out talking about ways that we can better ourselves, I usually find, some tips or some ways that we could practice, what I'm talking about in our daily lives, not just practice, but intentional living, which is mean you do these things on purpose so that it can reflect upon what I was saying, or reflect in your life, so that you're taking steps actively towards bettering yourself. And this is basically 6 ways to stay ready. If you follow my podcast on Anchor, I'll put the reference to the article in the show notes. But these are just 6 quick ways to stay ready. I think this is more geared towards like a business profile stuff. But if you tweak it, one way here, one way there, I feel like it could apply to anything, which is why I used it. So here we go. Number 1 is to stay informed about developments in your field. If you're passionate about something, you should know everything about something. Like if I'm passionate about aviation, if you want to have a conversation about airplanes and the stuff surrounding airplanes, I'm going to be able to spit out a lot of information. I'm not saying I know everything, because I definitely don't, but it intrigues me. So like, if you talk about aviation or airplanes, or if you bring that up in conversation, we're about to have a long conversation, because I know a lot about, developments and performance and the past and stuff like that. That's because it was my passion. That's was what I wanted to do with my life. So I tried to learn everything about it. Build our platform and portfolio. This is like your resume. Like, what are you doing to make yourself appealing? What are you doing to sell yourself? This is when you get into a position to take advantage of an opportunity. What have you done up until that point to show that you're ready for the opportunity? What have you done up until that point to position yourself perfectly for that opportunity? And it could be for yourself or it could be for somebody else in the form of a resume. But that's the mindset we got to get on. Number 3, make learning a habit. You always got to learn because life never stops teaching. That's just for a day-to-day mindset. But in like the business world or something like that, looking for a job, always be learning a faster way, a better way, a different way to do something or to present something or to make something. There's always another way. There's never a single way just to do one thing. There's always another way. Number 4, establish positive relationships with people in your field. Get to know people. Network, network, network. Because you never know what opportunities may be presented by people that you know or with people that or you never know what you might learn from different people. Somebody might have a totally different perspective on something that you never even thought about. And it took knowing that person and creating that environment of sharing information and learning that helps to take you to that next level, a level that you wasn't even comprehending because you just weren't in that mindset or in that place that the other person is. So networking can be a very positive tool. Also, that goes back on what I've talked about surrounding yourself with positivity and positive people. If you're trying to be a millionaire and you surround yourself with 4 millionaires, chances are you're probably going to become the 5th. So you got to surround yourself with positive people and you got to network. Number 5, determine how we are going to create value. This is not value yourself. This is value for the world, for the organization you're trying to join. How are you going to create value to them? How are they going to look at you and be like, oh, this person is going to bring us X or this person is going to bring us Y? This is how we create value to the outside world. What they're going to see when we get into that position or we're able to exercise our tools and our gifts and place ourselves where our hearts want to be. That's the last thing. And I think rightly so. Because if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. That's what my grandfather always taught me. Love what you do and you'll never work another day in your life. So, I mean, it's something simple. Again, like I've told you in other podcasts, like I'm not saying nothing earth shattering. My goal is just to remind you that there's a better way, there's a different way, and that, hey, every day and every way when we live in life, there's something that we could be doing to get closer to our dreams and to our goals. If working 9 to 5 is the type of thing that you want to do and you're in a comfortable place in life and you're happy with what you have and where you're at and you work to get there and stuff like that, then that's fine. That's perfectly fine. I'm not encouraging everybody to be a millionaire. I'm not encouraging everybody to join the military. I'm not encouraging everybody to be a pilot because everything isn't for everybody. But my podcast, the goal of my podcast is to give hope and to give insight to those who feel like they're not living up to their full potential and they could always be doing, a little bit better. We could all be doing a little bit better. I can be doing a little bit better. I definitely can be doing a little bit better. And a lot of times when I talk on these podcasts, I'm talking to myself. Please forgive me if we got off to a little bit of a slow start this morning. I'm a little bit groggy and my daughter's kind of forced me awake this morning. So I had to kind of get the steam going, but there ain't nothing to it but to do it. So here we are. But thank you for tuning in to another episode of my podcast. I hope that it's something that's very insightful and it puts a boot in your butt and get you going, get you motivated, and good luck on all your endeavors.